Hello tarot readers, today I'm going to do a small video on tarot spreads, and this is from a question from Susana Garcia Canos, and it's about what spread do I use when I'm going to do a tarot reading, and I think it's a really good question. First of all, I like to kind of cut them up into two different types, and you have the unstructured spreads, which basically means that a tarot reader will take the cards and just pop them on the table and pull them out however and in whatever way they want to. So basically they're just putting cards on the table and reading the cards, and that works really well for a lot of tarot readers. You just shovel the cards, you think of the question or whatever it is you're going to think about, and then you place the cards on the table and read them however you feel. And that's what we kind of call like a free flow spread, an unstructured spread. And then the second way of doing it is to find a structured spread. Now this will always be like your Celtic cross spread, where you have different placements for different reasons, or the astrology spread, or the gypsy spread. These are all spreads that have got a reason why the cards are in that place. So it may be something as simple as the past, the present, or the future, or it may be something based on the problem, what's crossing the problem, what's the base of the problem, what's the advice of the problem. All these are different kind of houses where we put a card on the table and we know exactly what that card's reason for being there is. So we know that card is there because it's going to talk about somebody's love life or somebody's work life or the advice about this certain problem. So a structured spread is a really good way to kind of get straight to the heart of any issue, and it's a lot easier for many readers than it is just a free flow spread, because you've got some idea of where you're working and what you're talking about. But every tarot reader is different, and like I said, I know loads of readers that just throw the cards on the table and do amazing readings that way. So with structured spreads, you can have anything from 3 cards to all the 78 cards. They can be very small spreads to really big spreads. And it's really good to kind of have a little bit of everything. So a 3-card spread or even a 2-card spread may be really good just for answering those quick questions that some people want, or sometimes you want just a quick question and you don't really need any more cards or any more input except for maybe 2 or 3 cards. So little 3-card spreads are really kind of good, and they can be anything from like yes, no, maybe, or past, present, future, or the base of what's going on, the advice of what's going on, and the result. So they can be very structured as well, or they can just be free flow, where you just throw 3 cards on the table and see what comes out and what you can make of them. So kind of decide what yes and no spreads you like and what kind of way works best with you. The next type of spreads would be more of a theme spread. So if somebody was to say to me, I just want to look about my love life, I may want something bigger than a yes or no quick answer spread, like the 3-card spread, but I wouldn't really need a big general spread where I'm looking at the financial life and the work life and the family life, because they just want to know about the love life. So something really smaller and maybe something more concrete, something more structured would work very good with that. Now there's loads of love spreads out there, loads of them, so practice with a few, or you can get a spread that can work with any theme, a little bit like the Celtic cross spread. The Celtic cross spread, you could say let's talk about the love life, or if somebody's got a problem you can go straight to that problem, or if somebody said something like I've got a legal problem coming up, I'm going to go to the courts, can you tell me how that's going to go? The Celtic cross spread or something similar to that could work really well in that sense. So try and find a spread that's really good to hone down on themes. So if I was to come to you and say I've got a big problem just at work, what spread would you use? If I've got a big problem with love, what spread would you use? And you know, it does seem easier if you're using the same spread, because if not, you're going to have to remember all these different spreads, and you may not use, for example, the legal system spread. You might not use it more than once a month or once every 2 months. Sometimes you may go months without using it, and then somebody comes and say, oh no, I just want to know about my legal system that's going on. I've got this, you know, I've got this legal problem. Can you have a look? And you're thinking, oh, what was that spread I used to do? What was it? So getting to know your spreads is really important, and using kind of a versatile spread is often a good idea. And then the next spread I would recommend is a bigger spread, which would be your general spread. And these are really good. There's loads out there, the astrology spread or the gypsy spread. There's just so many out there that will tell you this is the past, present, future, or this is the love life of the person, and this is their financial situation, and this is their work situation, etc. And all these kind of different places, different houses, will tell us a lot of detail about what's going on in somebody's life. So first of all, I would suggest decide whether you just want to go free flow and throw the cards on the table, or use a structured spread. If you're going to go for a structured spread, try them all out, try as many as you can, but then try and keep to maybe 3 or 4 that you're going to use quite often and you're going to use regularly, so you can get the practice and get that free flowing going with your reading. And then if you find that you haven't come across a spread that really hits you, something that doesn't quite work for you, you can always get a spread and then adapt it. That's what I did with the Celtic cross spread. For years I couldn't use the Celtic cross spread. I didn't even like the Celtic cross spread. It just never appealed to me. It didn't fill my boxes. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I never used it for years and years, until one day I got back into it and I thought, I know what's wrong with this spread for me. It's not flowing at the end. Then last cards don't make sense to me. So I adapted it in a way that I like and a way that works with me. And since then I've been able to use that spread all the time. Whenever I'm doing a theme, I can use the Celtic cross spread really, really easy in any kind of theme. So sometimes you just need to adapt certain spreads. And don't be scared to get a spread and think, well, I don't like that there, or I don't like it there. I'm going to change its place. I'm going to totally change the reason for that card being there. Don't be afraid to adapt your spreads. The other thing to do, if you find that you really can't find a spread that you like and you want your own spread, is to create your own spread. And I've been doing this since I was 10 years of age. I used to love making up my own tarot spreads. And it's really easy. What you do when you want to create a tarot spread is think about the questions that you want to ask the cards and what you would like to see come out. So for example, if it was a love spread, you know, what's going on in the person's life? What can they gain from this relationship? You know, what's the good qualities about this? Where can they improve? What's the advice? And each one would be kind of a different card. You know, what's the results? What's kind of, you know, going to happen? Each one could be a different card. And then decide, how do you want to present that spread? So maybe you want to try and do it in a way that you'll remember. So maybe you want to do it in half a moon, or you want to do it in a cross, or you want to just do it in a square, or you just want to do it in a circle. Whichever way you feel just makes it flow for you. It just clicks with you, it works for you, and it's easy for you as well, you know. So, and also take into account, you know, if you work at big tables, small tables, you might want to put some cards closer. But if you've got a lot of space, you feel free to have one card over there and one over there, whichever really works best for you. So if you do want to make up a spread, feel free, just do that. Just literally get the cards and decide exactly what you would like to see in a reading. And then try and tell a story. Think to yourself, will this spread tell the story? If somebody came to me with a problem about their love life or a problem with work, they've got something going on with the work, and I did this spread, would it tell a story? Would it tell me what's really going on with the work? You know, what advice could they do? do, how things could change, if they took the advice, what could the results be, etc., etc., and see how this would flow. And if you find something doesn't flow, like all of a sudden you added a card in there that now you think, no, actually that makes no sense when I do the reading, that doesn't make any sense, you can always remove it or change it or swap it around. So don't be scared to make up your own spreads. So that's my little video today. Before you give a reading, try and work out whether you're going to do a structured spread or just a free flow spread. If you're going to do a structured spread, try and find at least 3 or 4 spreads that work really, really well for you. I tend to use the same 3 spreads all the time. I've got the quick answer and question spread, I've got my Celtic Cross theme spread, and then I've got my big general spread. But of course then I've got other spreads that I use on occasion. So if I'm going to do an interview with a new tarot deck, or if I have a dream, I've got a dream spread that will explain my dream a little bit more. So you can always just play around with having extra spreads, you know, just kind of like tucked in a drawer there. But your general spreads should, you know, your daily spreads, try and get to know them really well so that when you're doing them, they just flow from you. I hope this advice helped. If you enjoy it, please touch like, subscribe to my channel and share me around on your social media. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.